The single most important skill you can develop is not marketing, it's not sales, it's not even discipline. It's the ability to stay mentally strong when your entire world is falling apart. When you're scanning 2 cans of tuna at Walmart and skipping the third because you're that broke. When you're pulling furniture out of the trash just to have a desk. When everybody thinks you're so successful on social media, but you don't know if you can pay rent next month. Nobody sees that. I've been there twice. And in this video, I'm gonna share the 4-part framework that pulled me out of rock bottom and turned my biggest failures into my greatest strengths. The first framework is accept reality. When I first moved from Mexico City to Vegas, I had money from an inheritance. Money my parents had worked their whole lives for. I'm living like a fake entrepreneur, posting on social media about my success while burning through money I never worked for. A classic entitled kid trying to impress people with a life that was not real. Then eventually, of course, money runs out. Reality hits. I end up driving for Uber and Lyft around Vegas, giving rides to drunk tourists while pretending everything was fine. But inside, I was embarrassed. This was not supposed to be my life. I kept telling myself, it's just temporary. I just need one big breakthrough. Then one day, I'm sitting in that car and I realized I was living in complete denial. I could keep making excuses about why this happened to me, or I could accept the brutal truth. I had blown my parents' life savings because I was entitled and lazy. I wanted success without putting in the work. That's when I learned this Buddhist principle that changed everything for me. You have to see things for what they really are, not what you wish they were, not what they should be, but what they are. And I know this sounds simple, but it's absolutely brutal. Because once you see reality clearly, you lose all your excuses. And that's when you get finally your power back. So for me, I accepted it. I was broke. I was driving for Uber. I had failed. But that acceptance gave me power. The power to actually do something about it. And I figured it out. I got back on my feet, started making money again. And then, of course, as you would guess, life tested me again. I rebuilt, started making money again, launched my agency, hit that 10K month again. I felt unstoppable. Then I lost everything again. And there I was, once again, facing the same choice, denial or acceptance. It was 2021 and I was planning my big move to Florida, the beach, success, the whole thing. And then in 1 week, every client I had left. And the only reason why I still moved was because the apartment complex that was offering 2 months free rent. So I took it, naturally. And that's the only thing that saved me back then. I move in to the apartment and I'm pulling a big old wooden table out of the trash to use as my desk. Getting free chairs from Facebook Marketplace. I was scanning cans of tuna at Walmart and skipping the third one because I was that broke. Don't tell Walmart, don't show this to Walmart. But that was rock bottom for me, rock bottom number 2. Now this time, I looked at that table and thought, this is my reality, I'm not gonna hide from it. But once again, no one sees that part. All they see is the cool stuff online, the cars, the watches, the travel, but they don't see you having to do embarrassing shit to survive. The moment you stop wishing your situation was different and start accepting what it is, that's when you get the power back to actually change it. And that's when the next lesson comes in, the next framework. Pain isn't punishment, it's just the price. When I was driving for Uber and Lyft, broke as hell, I had a choice. I could feel sorry for myself, or I could see this pain as a price. I was paying to learn what I never wanted to experience again. Every ride, every time I had to smile and be polite, drunk tourists, while I was dying inside, that was building something inside of me. Pain is not punishment. Pain is the price. When you're dieting and you're hungry, that hunger is the price of the body you want. When you're working 12-hour days and you're exhausted, that exhaustion is the price of the life you want. You can't wish for strength and pray for an easy life. Bodybuilding taught me that long before business did. 16 years of consistent training taught me that you do the work even when it sucks, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. The gym literally saved my life during my lowest points. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. I don't care if you feel like doing it. You must do it, or you will stay a fucking loser. Do you want to be a fucking loser, or do you want to do the work? Every time I forced myself to work when I didn't want to, I was paying the price for a better version of me. Which takes me to the third framework. You have to become obsessed with the work. After that second rock bottom moment in Florida, I made myself a promise. I will never let myself fall to that point again. Never. That's where I developed this mentality of obsession towards work. I had read Grant Cardone's 10x rule and it clicked. I've been half-assing things. I've been trying to get extraordinary results with average, if not mediocre effort. For some reason, I've always been obsessive though, spending 6 to 8 hours practicing guitar in high school because I wanted to be that next rock star. Then bodybuilding, years of tracking every meal, every workout. That same energy was what I needed for business. So I treated it like a sport. 12-hour workdays, no Netflix, fuck your work-life balance. I had to go to war. And what most people don't understand is running a business is a war. Escaping from your slave job is a war. Getting stronger is a war. Everything you want, other people are trying to get. This is a competition, a brutal competition, and you must out-compete them. Here's what most people don't understand about trying though. They think they are trying, but they're not. Real trying looks like you're working when everybody else is sleeping. Real trying looks like you're saying no to everything else that does not move you towards your goal. While others were relaxing, I was learning. While they were complaining, I was doing whatever the fuck it took to succeed. You can beat 99% of people without being smarter or luckier, just by being willing to endure pain and uncertainty for longer than they will. Which takes me to our last framework. You have to use those emotions as fuel. Here's the truth. What finally pushed me was not motivation. It was shame, anger, fear, all those emotions hitting me like a ton of bricks. I look around and see people dumber than me making millions. And I was sitting there wondering if I could afford groceries and pay rent next month. Fuck that. Let me tell you something. That kind of shame can destroy you, or it can drive you. That shame became my fuel, my anger, my energy, and that fear became my determination. All those emotions lit a fire under my ass. From then on, every time something went wrong, I just reminded myself, if these idiots can do it, so can I, and much better. Listen, you can make excuses or get results, but you can only pick one. Now, the good news is you get to choose which team you're on. Are you going to be the person who makes excuses, or are you going to be the person who gets results? If you're in that dark season right now, good, because it means you're about to meet the real you. You might be pulling furniture from the trash. You might be pretending on social media that everything's fine while you're dying inside. I get it. I've been there. I know what it feels like. And I want you to keep pushing and keep showing up because it's going to pay off. Every day you wake up and choose to keep going, you're already winning. You're building the character everybody else pretends to have. As a man, it's not a burden to carry this weight. It's a fucking honor. You get stronger so you can protect those who are weak. You endure so others don't have to. You become the person others can depend on. So whatever you're going through, keep fucking going. If you keep showing up, if you keep putting in the work, if you keep pushing past your limits and those limiting beliefs, you will get there. Even when there's no light at the end of the tunnel, if you keep moving forward, you will create that light. That's the one skill that saved my life. And if you practice it, it will save yours too. If this helped you in any way, share it with somebody who needs to hear it, because the person who needs this message most might be scrolling right past it.
Seven-figure CEO. You one-stop shop when it comes to paid social media advertising. Seven-figure CEO.